Okay, class, today we're going to be doing solving systems of equations algebraically, but this time we're going to use the elimination method. So looking at your sheet, go ahead and turn it over because we're going to take notes first. So first thing I want to talk to you about is opposites. What's the opposite of -5? That's correct. That would be 5, because if I combine them together, I would get a 0 pair. What's the opposite of 9? That's correct. It would be -9. So remember, opposites are things that when you combine together, you get a 0 pair. Now, I'm going to give you notes for elimination, so take a moment and go ahead and write this problem down. So the first thing you do is you look at the fact that I want to create a 0 pair for one of my problems. So I have 2x and 3x, and then I have a -4y and a -y. So which one would it be easier to make opposites of? Probably the y's, because the opposite of -4 is +4, correct? So what can I do to change that second equation into a +4? I can multiply the whole thing by a -4. Does that make sense? Because a -4 times a -y give me a +4. So when I do that, I get -12x plus 4y equals 96. Check my math. So then I'm going to bring the other equation over, which is just 2x minus 4y equals -26. So the whole reason of my doing that was to create a 0 pair and be able to cancel out one of my variables. So I'm going to cancel out my -4x and plus 4x, y, because when you combine them together, you get 0. So then I got 2x and -12x, which is going to give me a -10x equals to 70. So then I just divide both sides by -10, and I get x equals -7. So now that I have the -7, I need to plug it back into either equation to find out what my y is. So I'm going to plug it into the first one. So I have 2. I'm going to plug in the -7 minus 4y equals -26. So when I multiply that out, I get -14 minus 4y equals -26, which is -4y equals -12, which is y equals 3. So my coordinate, my point of intersection would be a -7 and a +3. Okay, I'm going to work the first one on the worksheet for you. So if you need to finish copying this down, go ahead and pause your video. Okay, looking at the first problem on the worksheet, I have 2x minus y equals 7, and 3x plus y equals 8. Remember, step 1 here is to create a zero pair or create opposites. Well, if you look at the equation, y's are already opposites. The opposite of -y is +y, so I can already cancel that out. So I'm going to go ahead and combine them, and I'm left with 5x equals 15. Then I'm going to continue on to solve the equation, which gives me x equals 3. So now I'll go back to either equation, and in this case, I'm going to take the first equation, substitute my value of x, because I now know that x is 3. That gives me 6 minus y equals 7, which is -y equals 1, which is y equals -1. So my coordinate pair would be 3, -1. Okay, I want you to take a moment and go ahead and do number 2, because 2 already gives you opposites as well. So use number 2 that already gives you opposite, and we're going to start there in class. So I hope you have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.